Welcome back to another playoff video. And yet again, new year, same Leafs. Without Nick here.
Jake really wanted to do the intro today. I didn't know what to expect, but he was like, "Do you have to do it?" I'm like, "You can do it. I don't care." So, I think you just really wanted to
I just need something
criticize
different.
the Leafs there, or are you just sick of me doing it?
I was just like, maybe the viewers want something different.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. People could get sick of me. Who knows? But yeah, you were
No, they
completely.
don't get sick. Don't take it that way. Don't take it personal.
um, okay. As you can see, Nick is not here, but it is not because the Leafs lost.
No,
He's
he's in
not here just like
shambles.
the Leafs weren't
He's
there
in
in Game 7.
He is
he's in absolute
traveling.
shambles.
He is. More on that later. But this was just this time and day was planned. I think before Game 7, even. No, I think Game 7 was determined by then. Yeah, no. This was before Game 7 was determined because I was texting you during the game. Um, so Nick's just traveling, but we will have a statement from him later about the Leafs. But before we get into everything, make sure you are subscribed to Have a Shift Day on YouTube and Spotify as we continue our playoff coverage, and follow us on our social media. That way you can stay up to date on when our new episodes are coming out and also our daily playoff recaps, which we have not had one for a couple days, but that's okay because we're nice little break in all of the action is fine. But also, before we deep dive into all of the series, it's time again for a bracket check. And this group right
We
here.
can skip this, I think.
Hey, mine's dead too, okay? If I have to feel pain, so do you.
I think if
I think-
anyone's like good,
Well,
like,
that's what we're gonna find out. That's what the bracket check is
okay.
for. So
That's a good point.
that's a valid
this
point.
going. Okay.
Oh,
I know it looks weird, but you just have to deal with it for like 2 seconds. Okay, here are the standings. You guys can see it, right?
I'm
Dallas.
still in one?
You're
Stars.
still at 1.
How am
Dallas.
I still here?
Stars.
I don't know. There I am, guys. I have hit my max amount of points now.
I think I hit my
Jake-
max. Yeah.
Yeah, you have too. We need to take a look at Isaac and Nick's bracket because they're the only two who have their champions still alive. But we'll just briefly look at mine because like the only one I had left was Vegas and they're dead. So
A lot of red.
a lot of red. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. But 42%.
Yeah, it's
Is
not
that
bad.
last place? Are you in last?
I'm in last.
Uh,
But you know what? It's okay, guys. You live and you learn, and it's really hard to predict the playoffs. So it's not my fault. I don't know why Isaac is still down here. Something's gotta change.
Am I second?
Well, let's
you're
check
still
the
in
bracket.
third somehow.
I'm in third place.
Let's check the bracket. Okay, so this is why Isaac is still in fifth. He only has one conference final team left, and that conference final team also happens to be his champion. So Isaac really needs Dallas to win, like everything.
If Dallas wins, he's toast.
You mean if Edmonton wins?
I mean, yeah, Edmonton wins, he's toast.
If Dallas wins, he's golden. Oh my gosh, he's 50% correct though.
4.30. Oh wow, holy cow.
I have to message them, let them know we did a bracket check and included their brackets. Reminder,
You
we are doing
failed the
this
class. You failed the class.
I failed the class too. Reminder that I forgot to say at the beginning, we are doing this bracket challenge with Isaac Graves and Ryan Teeley from the Teeley and Graves podcast. Make sure you go check them out. Now it's time for Nick Shermito's bracket. He also is in the same boat as Isaac. Only one conference final team left, who happens to be his champion. We were all making fun of him for that, but we might be shut up soon. So we'll see how that one goes. But Nick is 58% correct, has 91 points, has the potential for a lot more points. Now, Jake, we will go to yours. Oof. Hey, you got that right. You got Dallas right.
What? That's awful. That's hard to look at.
It is, but You're 58% correct. You've gotten as
I
many
also
points as you
failed
can
the
get.
class.
You failed the class. I think almost all of us did. We have to see how Ryan's doing though, because
I don't know. I
I
might
don't know
have
how you're
failed. I'll be
first.
honest.
I gotta
Um,
ask my professor if there's any
Well,
extra credits.
I'm only in first just because my first round was really good.
oh right. The extra credit was the second chance, and that's over. So, here's Ryan Tile. I think he's the only one who picked Edmonton to go to the conference finals. So,
Did everyone else
props
have
to
the
him.
Kings winning in the first round?
No, I had Edmonton.
You
You
had
had
Edmonton,
Edmonton.
yeah.
That's
So
one you just gotta say. I should have just say like McDavid and Drysdale aren't losing in the first round.
yeah, I mean
That's.
we
I mean
talked about it
The
several
Kings.
times.
Yeah, the Kings played a great series though. They just couldn't finish
For
in the
like the
final 20
first
minutes.
2.5 games.
Yeah.
We talked about it. We said it was their best chance, but I think really that challenge in game 3 was the turning point, but also like I think the Oilers just wore them down too. And their depth came through, and that was the big thing that they needed, and that's the reason why I didn't believe in the Oilers was because their depth wasn't really there in the regular season. Excuse me. And now it's back. So thankfully we don't have to see this. So Washington Capitals Stanley Cup Championship. I can have a somewhat peaceful summer. And then finally we've got Ryan's bracket. You got one conference final team. That's some point.
I think did he pass the class?
No, I think all of us are below.
No, he
60.
did.
I did
Oh,
pass
that
the
is
class.
a
He
D.
did.
You got a D.
D's get degrees, Ryan.
That's right, they do.
No. It's C's get degrees, D's get diplomas.
I haven't heard of that.
I've never heard that one
Yeah.
before, but
Yeah,
Okay, well, C's get degrees was the mentality that got my brother through physics in high school. So
I will say I am capped out though. So if anyone
Yeah.
else gets something right, I'm tanking.
it all depends on Nick and Isaac because their champions are their cup.
Yeah.
Their only teams they have left are their champions.
I will
So-
say, like, take away everything like, teams going to the conference finals and things like that. But with everyone, some people picking the Kings, but I think Vegas and Tampa were really the killers here in this bracket.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
For absolutely everybody.
Yes.
Like, it'd be a completely different ball game if they were swapped. And the points would be really, like, just through the roof.
Okay, Ryan Tile also passed the class, so congratulations, Ryan Tile. But yeah, all of us except Isaac and Nick have hit our max points. They're just relying on their champions now. They have no one else they can rely on for points, so we'll see which one of them ends up winning, or if it ends up somehow being you, Ryan, because if Carolina and Dallas both get out, I don't think that Nick and Isaac will be able to jump up, so
That would be nice.
you could
but
prey on their downfall and still win.
I think the
I
West
kinda-
can go.
I kind of. Go ahead.
I think the West can go either way, and I think we'll get to it. But I think the East is going to be one-sided.
Okay, we'll get into that later. So don't
Sorry,
spoil
Ryan.
that.
Go ahead.
No, it'd be nice to win the bracket challenge, but I don't want the same cup final as last year.
Same. I don't.
So if if someone has to win for us to get something different to watch, I'd be happy for it.
I think it'd be cool to see this same teams go at it again. I mean, we saw that with the Penguins when Crosby lost him the first time around, and then it could be like history repeating itself with the face of the league, McDavid.
And
You know,
he
getting
scored
this-
a golden goal for Canada. Oh, no.
Yeah, now he's gonna.
Edmonton's winning, guys. It's over.
I don't know. Stars.
Whatever.
We'll see.
We'll get
We'll
into
get-
it.
we'll
We
get
will
into
get into it. But first, we're going to go over the end of the second round. We will start. Okay, no, I have this in order. We will start with the 2 series that ended in 5 games. Specifically, we are going to start with the Capitals losing in 5 games to the Hurricanes.
Good run.
No, it was not.
I mean, for a
They
team.
got collapsed.
Okay, just let me talk about my Caps here for a little bit. So.
This is the last time you're allowed to call them my Caps.
Well, they were my Caps for this bracket.
Starting regular season, that is illegal
Yeah,
to say.
yeah. I agree.
You're not allowed to say that.
But like going into the season, the Capitals it was all about the Ovechkin goal chase. No one had him like as a legit playoff contender, I would say. And they like overexceeded expectations from the beginning of the year. Chikrin had a bounce back year. I think he had 20 goals. Logan Thompson, what a deal that was. And then the young guys for the Caps just showed up. And I think this team has a bright future uh, beyond Alex Ovechkin. They showed that this year, and they win the Eastern Conference. They win a playoff round. It just they ran into a team that's playing great hockey right now in the Hurricanes, and it was a great year for the Caps. I mean, they overexceeded expectations, and I think this year showed they have a bright future ahead of them. But the Hurricanes played a great series, and credit to them.
Yeah, I definitely. There were a lot of players on their team that had breakout seasons this year. Um, Alexi Protas, Connor McMichael. I think I saw something that took them like I want to say it was. You guys follow Everyday Pens on Instagram, right? I
Yeah.
think you do.
Yeah.
He was posting something about like rebuilds and stuff. Um, hang on. No, it's fine. Sorry, it just like gave me a notification saying that your recording stopped, Jake, but it literally says you're still recording. So.
Uh-oh.
Nick called me.
Oh, okay. So it probably just interrupted for a second. It still has the little red dot. It says, I don't know. I think you're okay. Yeah, I think you're fine. Okay, whatever. Nick is just put your phone on do not disturb so that doesn't happen again. Okay. Oh no, it went away. Never. Oh, here no, it is. People must realize it takes time to build a strong team in a league so competitive. Point to the Capitals, but it took them time as well. Protas and McMichael took 6 years to break out. So that was more
Yeah,
specifically
I
talking
will.
about the rebuild. But they somehow the
I don't.
Capitals had their retool. It worked
Yeah.
out really well for them. But
That's the blueprint of what the Penguins want to be. Is exactly what the Capitals did this year. That is exactly what the Penguins want to do because they did the same thing. I mean, they had a couple of years they didn't make the playoffs, and 2 years later they won the Eastern Conference with an aging core. But the thing is, they didn't make mistakes in free agency, like signing like Jari or Graves. They didn't get themselves tied to like bad long term contracts. And I think with the retooling team, you can't make many mistakes, and I think the Penguins have. But we'll see what Dubas can do this offseason.
yeah, and um, like we've got a bunch of young guys that we have a lot of faith in, like McGroarty and Koivunen.
Yeah,
It might take a little bit for them to break out. As much as we want them to break out sooner,
wasn't
we have
Koivunen
to
was
be
almost
patient.
a point per game player? Like they had 10
In
points in 11 games.
in
So
the AHL,
with the Penguins, I think, right?
I don't know. Check that for us, stats guy. Um, but yeah, it was certainly a successful season from them. I think that Carolina just outplayed them, outchanced them, and Frederick Anderson really just was on fire. Has been on fire lately. Yes, Jake.
7 assists in 8 games, seven
In the
points.
NHL,
Yes,
not bad. That's pretty good.
not too shabby.
Not
3 of the
too
points were
shabby.
on the power play.
All right. See, he's getting there. It could take him time, but we don't want to put too much weight on them. Be like, oh, you're going to be carrying the franchise for the next 5 years. No, that's not the case. The
Ryan, do you want to talk about your Hurricanes dominating? I'll own up to it.
Um,
Me and Ryan went back and forth throughout the year. He goes, "Oh, they're going to beat the Capitals in the second round." I was like, "No, you're going to see the Capitals are a legit team." And he
I was wrong.
embarrassed
I
me.
thought the Capitals were going to win, but I'm glad to be wrong. So please proceed, Ryan.
I don't know. I just watching the team and like especially when I went to the Pens Capitals game and I was like, it's not like they're gonna boost up from where they are. They're already a good team, and at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not gonna be shocked if they do win because they are a good team. And I just thought that um I don't know. I just thought the Hurricanes were such a fast team, and I thought that the watching the Devils, I was like, the Devils put up a better fight than I guess people would give them credit for. So I don't know. I just thought the Hurricanes are just super fast pace, and just watching the Capitals, watching their power play, the special teams weren't really up to par. I mean, when they were worked around Ovechkin, they could give him the puck. Then yeah, I mean they're gonna score on that power play, but just watching them, I was like, the Hurricanes are gonna win. I was like, I thought they were gonna win six, but they did it in five. And I don't know, they kind of proved that the Capitals just, I guess, weren't a cup contending team.
Yeah, and why am I echoing? It might be Jake. I don't know. Okay. I don't hear myself anymore. We're good. Lots of tech issues today, but it's not a Have a Shift Day podcast if we don't have tech issues. As I was saying, a crazy stat from this series is that the Capitals did not exceed 21 shots. Like, that was their max. I just double checked it, there were 3 games where they hit 21 shots. So,
It's not going to win you a lot of games.
no, it's not. Especially when you've got Carolina who, yeah, all their shots may not go on net, but they create a lot of scoring opportunities and have a lot of shot attempts on goal.
Carolina likes to play that man-on-man defense that will like block a lot of shot lanes, make it difficult to play against. So that could be a reason why the Capitals struggled.
Yeah,
probably is the reason why.
And Carolina's also got Jacob Slavin, who is one of the best defensemen in the league, I think. Like, he can score. He's not as offensively dominant as like Cale Makar or Quentin Hughes, but defensively, we saw it at Four Nations. Jacob Slavin is amazing.
Yeah, and I think the way Carolina plays, everyone has to buy into that style. Everyone's got to be all for it, and they buy in, and it's worked out for Rod Brind'Amour and his crew.
Mm-hmm. And like the Hurricanes have been called boring, like playing boring hockey, and yeah, that might happen when you're trying to be defensive, but if it's working, keep doing it. Like, yeah, I know this is the entertainment business, but if your defense and the way you pressure the other team is going to win you games and win you a championship, then go for it.
Yeah. It might seem boring, but there's 28 other teams watching the conference finals right now. So.
That's true.
Yeah, and they play a lot like the Panthers, whether people know it or not. They are such a similar team to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Like you watch them, they are such a they're a two-headed like defenseman, like all of them are, and they're so quick to rushing to a puck. Like that's not just on the penalty kill, but they see a puck and they're gonna drive right to it. They're not gonna think about it and make a decision here or there. Like they don't care. They're just gonna drive right towards the puck. They're gonna play the body. And it's like they're so similar. And if that, I mean, yeah, you can consider that being a defensive style of play. But like you said, I mean, they're one of the 4 teams still in it. So whatever they're doing is working.
Yeah, you mentioned both the teams being similar, and when they face each other in the conference finals in 2022 or 2023, it was a 4-game series or 4-game sweep for the Panthers, but each game was decided by 1 goal, which kind of goes to show like they're playing tight hockey.
All right, we apologize for that little jump cut. We had some technical difficulties. Ryan got kicked from the recording. It's not his fault.
It's Nick. He's hacking us.
We're blaming Nick for hacking us. Speaking of Nick, now we're going to talk about the Leafs and the Panthers. I think I actually had a different series next, but it was a better transition. Toronto Maple Leafs once again losing in a Game 7. Just absolutely an embarrassing home ice loss. Another embarrassing home ice loss. The exact same score to Game 5. I will give the Leafs credit, though. They came out a lot better in Game 6. They played a tough game, and ultimately it worked out for them. But they just could not keep up with the Panthers in Game 7.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
First time since they were trying to go to the third round, or win a Game 7. First time since 2004. They haven't. The last time they went to the conference finals in any stance, whether if it was a 4-round playoff or not, Sidney Crosby was 14 years old.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
yeah, it's I don't know if I was thinking, because they played a great game six, and I just don't know why there's no consistency. Like it really confuses me why, especially playing at home and everything. And this team is just such a confusing team. It's like their trainer just like slips some melatonin in their orange juice. It's
Mhm.
like it's like they just don't. They looked exhausted, and they did not care whatsoever.
The Leafs thing is like their high-powered offense, and not one player in a 7-game series was a point per game. And
No.
Max Pacioretty and William Nylander had 6 points each for the team lead, but like you look at guys they're playing 10+ million to perform in these games. Mitch Marner only 5 points, Austin Matthews only four, Nyes four, Tavares too. Like that's just you need more production out of those guys.
Exactly. And um, a big thing about Florida's game in that game seven is that they were really pressuring the Leafs as they would enter the zone. And the Leafs just did not adapt to that. They did not try to break through that pressure at all. They got a couple breakaways in the first period. Like that second half of the first period was probably the best part of their game for game seven. But it just fell apart after that. And after the first goal, it was not like the Panthers scored 3 goals within 7 minutes. The Leafs didn't really try much to, swing the momentum in their favor. They get 1 goal in the third period, and Florida just takes it right back. And Toronto's just basically like, well, oh well, oh well. Like it's you give up a goal. It's not like you can't come back. You have to
Yeah.
have that urgency to come back. You have to give your goaltender some help as well.
Yes,
And like
and it
I don't
was yeah.
okay. I don't want to fully say like I don't want to say it was Wall's fault. I don't want to say that he was playing amazing and he just got no help. I think it's both. I think Wall could have played better, and I think the defense could have played better. And then also, like you said, no offensive contribution from their stars. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit. Austin Matthews got the game winner in game six, which pushed it to a game seven, but you need your stars to step up in the big moments in a game seven. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, and it was the ultimate Leaf killer, Brad Marchand, who, made a difference in this series. He had 2 points in Game 7. He led the series in points with 8. Like this guy's at 36 years old. And he's still, you know, owning the Leafs. So he's the Leafs' daddy, and I mean, he just finds a way. Like guys like that in the playoffs find a way. They may not be the most skilled players in the regular season, but when it comes down to when the games matter most, they find a way to contribute to the team.
Yeah, it's Brad Marchand definitely had a really good series, and
Yeah.
who knows, maybe part of that was because it was the Leafs, and there's just some sort of instinct he has where he just cranks it up against them, regardless of the crest on his jersey. But yeah,
I mean, in Game 7, like we have to give credit to the Panthers. I think they played an amazing game. They shut
yeah, it
down the
wasn't just like
Leafs.
the Leafs
Yeah.
played terribly, which is true, but the Panthers just played really well as
I
well.
mean, the Panthers in a 7-game series. I mean, the longer it goes, that's probably the better chance. Better the odds go to the Panthers to the way they play. They just wear down teams, and by the end of Game 7, the Leafs looked pretty exhausted.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when Chris Tanev is your best forward on the ice, you know you're doing something wrong. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, you gotta. I mean, like we talked about, we need depth. So it's good that he was playing well. It's good like guys on the third line were actually, putting up stuff. But you need your front six to do something,
hmm
and there was nothing there.
yeah. I mean, if you look at the moves at the deadline too, am I
you're hearing
actually?
yourself echoing.
Who is that? Me?
Yeah, you're the only one who doesn't have headphones.
Let me put them on.
Yeah, you were fine for like 5 minutes and now it's suddenly echoing. I don't hear myself anymore. Nope, there I am again. You should be better now. Talk, Jake. Make sure your
Alright,
headphones
I
are
guess.
working. Yeah, we're good.
It,
Go
it
ahead.
just said
Talk.
stop recording though. I'm
Oh,
still active.
You're recording on my screen, so you should be good.
yeah, I think you're fine. It's Riverside is being really weird today, guys.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Chronologically? Okay. I was gonna say, like, you look at the deadline, the Panthers. I mean, their move paid off. Getting Seth Jones, he scores the opening goal in Game 7. It's just pressing those right buttons from the front office standpoint. And I mean, the Leafs' big move was Carlo, and I mean, didn't seem like he made like a huge difference in this series. I'm not saying he's like a big offensive playmaker, but I mean, he wasn't able to shut down the Panthers.
No, he was not. It's fine. I was going to tell you to take your headphones off, but it's fine. Your audio is just a little quieter, but I don't really want to mess up Riverside again for the 4th time today. So I think it did cut your recording a little bit, but it's got like your numbers are going up again. So we haven't had technical difficulties in a long time, so we were due. But the big question mark now with the Leafs that everybody is talking about is the core 4. Is this it? Because Marner's a free agent, Tavares is a free agent. I know there's more talk about Marner than there is Tavares, but I want to ask about both of them. Do you think they both stay, only one of them stays? If so, who? Or do you think they're going to both be gone?
I'd say it depends on what they're able to take and like money wise is because we've heard that Marner he's the type of guy to want I guess more money and he's asking I don't know what is it he's making 11 to 13 million a year. What is that? I don't know exactly, but he's making a decent amount of money a year and people have talked about giving him less of a cap and I think guys like that who are refusing to take less and I don't know. I just believe that someone like him, Tavares, on the other hand, I'm not too sure. I mean, Tavares is he was the captain. You give it to Matthews. I don't. They're not going to get rid of a guy like Matthews. There's no way. Um, but I think Marner's definitely gone. I think they just can't waste that kind of money for someone who's not going to produce in big moments.
Jake?
Yeah, am I recording? Okay.
You're recording. I could see when you took your headphones out and put them back
That
on.
was
The recording, like the
because
recording.
my numbers keep going up and down.
Yeah, the recording, like little graphic, like disappeared when you took your headphones off, but then like it came right back up. So I think you're good. So stop messing with your headphones. Just let it go, and talk to me about your thoughts on Tavares and Marner.
I mean, I can see a world where they do come back. I think they would both have to take a significant pay cut, to which, I mean, they're going to get paid if they want to get paid, but Tavares at this point, he grew up a Leafs fan. He chose to leave the Islanders, so I can see him taking a pay cut to come back to Toronto. For Marner, I mean, the fans there, I don't think they'd be open to him coming back. I mean, they tried to trade him for Rantanen in the deadline, so I think that tells Marner what the Leafs think of him. I think Marner is going to get paid a huge amount of money that the Leafs aren't willing to. I don't think it'll be a Leafs. I just don't.
Yeah, highly likely it is the end of an era in Toronto.
I mean, how could you do that? Like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again,
exactly.
expecting a different result.
I do have another question, and we'll touch on this briefly so we can move on because we have to get through these series. But Brandon Shanahan has been there the whole time for this, been trying to get through the Shana plan. Do we think that's a change that needs to be made? Like, do you think he needs to be out of this Leafs organization?
I don't think it's fully on him. They tried different coaches. They tried different GMs. It just hasn't gone the right way, and I think it ultimately falls on the players here. I think the ownership has put them in a position to win, and the players just haven't been able to come through.
Fair enough. Ryan, any final thoughts?
No, I don't know. I don't really think that there's too much into that. I definitely think that whatever is, yeah, there's a thing where I guess there's a statement where you could just say that it depends that you got to really start changing things off the ice when on the ice is not producing, but you have the talent, and it's very known that this team can produce and be a Stanley Cup contender. It's not like you got people off the ice making decisions that aren't I guess I don't even know how to put it. I don't think so. I don't think that this is a move that they need to make.
All right. Well, let's shift. Oh, before we shift to the West, we do have a statement from our dear friend Nick Schermito. Here's his statement for you.
Pain. So much pain. I need to shave now. But pain.
All right, now over to the Western Conference. We had another series ending in 5 games. Edmonton beat the Golden Knights in 5 games. My brain just died there. Jake joined me in the bracket graveyard after that series ended. Stuart Skinner with his second straight shutout. We talked last week about how he's just inconsistent and confusing. But Kasperi Kapanen gets the overtime game winner, wins game 5, 1-0. Oilers are going to the conference finals again. What happened with Vegas here?
I think the Oilers were they were the better team in this series, and it was just too much to handle for Vegas. I mean, Edmonton's a hungry team. Like Draisaitl and McDavid, they're more determined than ever to get their first Stanley Cup, and I just think Vegas ran into a more determined team, and it was a short series. I didn't see it only being 5 games. I thought 6 or 7 for sure, but I mean, after Edmonton got through the Kings, they've just been playing probably their best hockey of the season or all year.
Yeah, and this is the time to play your best hockey.
I completely agree. I mean, I don't really think there's anything else to put on that, but they just ran into a wall, and they got hit pretty fast too. So, like early in the series, I mean, it's just a better group of players.
Mm-hmm.
I think another. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just think another story in this series is Stuart Skinner at a .944 save percentage. Like, I know he made a mistake in the Vegas game with the final seconds there, but he bounced back, and he was a dog. He was a dog all series.
Literally a brick wall.
Yeah.
But I think he's the biggest question mark going forward, especially since I believe Calvin Pickard might be getting back from that injury. I don't really know. So I think Edmonton really needs to figure out, are they keep riding with Skinner? Are they going to keep riding with Skinner because he's been known to be kind of a streaky goalie? Like, he'll play well for a few games, but then he plays bad again. Or do they go back to Calvin Pickard, who is undefeated so far? Really, I don't want to say carried them through that first round, but was a big key piece in them beating LA and winning 4 straight against them. Because, yeah, like I think that's just their question mark going forward. Like, who is going to start game 1 against Dallas on Wednesday? Do they trust Stuart Skinner that much? Or do they want to go back to the guy who could... We don't even know if Calvin Pickard's going to be fully healthy. Do they want to go back to the guy who's undefeated? So,
I think you gotta play Skinner here. He's just on such a hot streak right now that you just keep playing him, and you are playing in Dallas, so I think that's already a negative aspect for the Oilers in the first place. But you gotta play Skinner. You gotta see what he does, and if he isn't the Skinner we saw in the past few games, and you're playing a better team. Evidently, you're playing a way better team than the Vegas Golden Knights, and it's going to be tough to produce any offense whatsoever with Otter in net. It's going to be crazy. This is a complete step up from the second round, and it's just that he's going to get peppered. He's going to get absolutely peppered in net, and it's just I don't know. We'll see how he plays. I think he needs to start.
Yeah. I was just also going to say, like, Vegas is Vegas is known to be a great team on home ice, and they lost all three games at home in the
Yeah.
series, and 2 of them are in overtime.
Yeah, great point there. We'll now go to the final series. Stars beating the Jets in 6 games, and Ryan also joined us in the bracket graveyard. I kind of feel bad about making it. Never mind. But the big story in Game 6 was Mark Scheifele. Even though we all know that his father unexpectedly passed away before that game, and our condolences to his family and him. But he still played in the game because that's what his dad would have wanted, and he got the first goal of the game. He played an unreal game. I think he was the Jets' best player in that game. He was, like, I saw him almost every time he was out on the ice, throwing the body around, making plays. Like, he could have really helped them win that game, but it just stung so much with him being in the penalty box when Dallas scored in overtime. But I will say, I know the Jets didn't win a single road game these playoffs. I think that was probably especially looking at the scoreboard from all the road games, that was probably their best road game of these playoffs, and Hellebuck's best road game.
Yeah, all of us played great in this game.
But the Stars did win this series. Thomas Harley, who's just been really, really great for that team since the Four Nations face-off, especially with Mira Heiskanen out, who did come back in the series. Harley gets the game winner, and the Stars are going to their 3rd straight conference final.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting Rantanen at the deadline has just changed the whole outlook on the Stars season. Like, that was just a game-breaking move, and I think if the Stars are going to beat Edmonton, they need a top 10 player like that, and it's going to be a great series. A lot of star power.
Yeah, this is probably the most. I'm more excited for this series than I'd say the Florida and Carolina one, because
I'm too.
If we don't have really anything else to say about the Dallas-Winnipeg series, we can move into our conference finals previews now. But, I mean, any final thoughts that you guys have about the Winnipeg Jets, we'll say. I know we're kind of, like, breezing over this series, but, like...
I think the Jets, again, they had an unbelievable regular season, but it's just something about the playoffs they just, can't get over. And I know being in Winnipeg, it sounded like a great destination for free agents. So I think their window is shorter than like a bigger market team, if you know what I'm saying. But and their division's tough. Like, you got the Avalanche, the Wild are going to be, better than they were this year because they're getting off those contracts with Friese and Zuter. And then the Blues, with Montgomery, they're only going to get better too. So it's tough to compete in that division. I think the Jets, I think their window might be closed.
Yeah, well, they might be losing Nikolai Ehlers because he is going to be a free agent this year. So, I mean, they might be able to re-sign him. Cap's going up. They might be able to pay him a little more, but we will see about that. And like I've always said, I don't trust President's Trophy teams, so I'm not surprised that they didn't end up, going further or winning the cup. But
I mean, they should have lost against the Blues. Like, we can't forget that. Like, they squeaked their way past, the 8th seed.
Yeah, I think next year, if they make the playoffs next year, they need to be better on the road. I think that's what killed them.
Yeah.
Because Hellebuck had 2 shutouts in this series. We can't ignore that. He's just...
I don't think he was the issue. Yeah.
He was a big problem in the road games, though, because he got lit up on the road, except
in
that final game. He played a lot better in Game 6.
In Game 6, he
put
the team in position to win.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't say that the loss was his fault, in Game 6 specifically. I just mean road games in general, and, for the most part in these playoffs, he was way worse on the road than he was at home, and he needed to be better. And he
Yeah.
finally got better in the end, but it was too little, too late.
Yeah, and I think with Winnipeg, just overall, just the team in general, it's you're you're playing a great Dallas team, and the way that Dallas played is first 2 to 3 games they play just complete forward mentality. They're putting everything on net. They start to get a huge lead in the series, then they start relying on the back end of their team. They start relying on the defense and the goalie. And in my opinion, I think they got the best goalie in the league. I think Bobrovsky's fantastic for Florida, but I think a guy in big moments who just continued to, you've seen Bobrovsky mess up a few times. You've seen him be shaky. He's had some off games. I have not seen an off game from Jake Otter yet, and he's just so unbelievably consistent. And I think that he is just an absolute killer when it comes to this playoffs. And I don't know. That's what's going to help him later on.
And you look at 3 of the 4 teams in the conference finals, they have game breakers. And I don't think the Jets they have a game breaker in Hallbuck, but like not a playmaker to the caliber of those teams.
Yeah.
All right, we will move into the conference finals now. We'll start with the West since we're over on this side. We've already brought up the Stars against the Oilers. A rematch of last year. We've got Dallas and Edmonton, the Western Conference Final. That starts on Wednesday in Dallas. I think the big question mark for Dallas here is, we already said the big question mark for Edmonton was going to be goaltending. But for Dallas, yes, their stars have produced, and that is huge. Their depth could be a little better. Like Tyler Seguin, Matt Duchene, Mason Marchman, they haven't been as productive as Hintz, Granlund, Rantanen. So that's what I think Dallas really needs. That's what Edmonton's been getting. So Otter needs to be able to stop all the depth for Edmonton, and Dallas's depth needs to step up.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You look at the season series here. The Stars went 2-1 against the Oilers. I think. Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to buy too much into that. It's regular season. But,
regular season does not matter. Like I said, I don't care if you win the division, because it's literally what happened this year, because none of the division winners are in the playoffs, if you've noticed. So let me pull up the stats from, where is it? I'm going to pull up the stats from the Stars. And just talk about those 3 players I mentioned that have to step up.
Yeah, why are you doing that? I really think that
Seguin has 5 points. Duchene has 5 points. Who's the other player?
Mason Marchman has 4.
Well, you can look at it this way too. Like, they made it to the conference finals without those guys producing. Like,
That's
just
true.
think what they can do.
Edmonton made it to the conference finals with their depth producing, and if their depth is producing, like, again, I know like Draisaitl and McDavid are leading the team in points for Edmonton, but I would say that they have been, like, at least in terms of them, they've been quiet. Like, they aren't contributing on every single goal. That was my problem for years, because I'm like, oh, this team cannot win or score without McDavid. Mm-hmm. He contributes on nearly every single goal. That hasn't really been the case, and that's what Edmonton has needed, and that's what they're getting. So the Stars need their depth to contribute. They can't be relying on their Finnish mafia the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, if I told you this would be the top scorers regarding goals for the Oilers into the conference finals, Draisaitl with 5, I don't think we'd be surprised. With Corey Perry with 5, Connor Brown with 4, Evander Kane with 4. Like,
exactly.
That's unexpected. From the Oilers. But yeah, I think the depth's going to have to, continue to produce with the Oilers if they're going to win this series. Because Ryan, you mentioned how good Ottinger is playing this postseason. It's going to be tough. Stars are a great team, and it's hard to beat a great team twice, as the Stars lost to the Oilers last year. So.
Yeah, Otter's just got to outplay both Edmonton goalies, because part of me feels like that Calvin Pickard might end up coming in this series. I don't see this being an easy series for Edmonton. I don't know fully if this is going to go 7. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but part of me feels like it's not.
Yeah,
But-
this is
Stars
This
get
is
home
like-
ice, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Which they
Yeah,
had
this
home
is-
ice in the first round, too.
Yeah, this is definitely a type of series that it's going to be like what happens after game 1. And I mean, you can't really, I don't know. I can't look at this knowing who's going to win. I always like trying to make predictions before even round because there's no way my bracket's going to be up to par like now this deep into the playoffs, but try to like kind of refresh it and be like, "All right, I think they're going to win or whatever." But this is kind of one of those things that's like, we'll see what happens after game 1 and you can kind of truthfully make a decision because as of right now, I mean, I'm kind of leaning more towards Dallas, but I mean, it's so hard to bet against an Oilers team. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, I've said for months now, I think the Cup winner is coming from the West. I think that whoever wins this series is going to win the Cup. So,
Agreed.
we'll find
Yeah.
out. But moving over to the East, we have
Are we going to
a
make our
20
picks?
Oh, are we going to make picks? Do you guys want to make
I'm
picks?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I have my bias, and then I have my... I don't know.
I'll go. I can go first.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Stars in 6 games.
Okay.
I think they get over. I think they get over the hump, and I think I want to see like those guys like Sagan and Ben. I want to see them win that cup
Yeah.
because
I
they've
mean,
been so close for a while. I know Sagan has, but like I want to see him win another one. Then I also want to see like Randon like just go on this legacy run and
I
win
was
the Stanley
riding
Cup.
the Avalanche, but now I'm like, I think I want the Stars to win the Cup. So, Avalanche fans, if you happen to find this, I was just a bandwagon, okay? I'm not like a legit Colorado Avalanche fan. Don't like turn on me. I mean, maybe turn on me. I don't know. I was a bandwagon, okay? I'm loyal to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I'm not directly loyal to any other franchise. So when it comes to playoffs, my bias tends to shift. But my prediction, which is also slightly biased, I know I literally just said I don't see this series going 7, but I think it's going to be Stars in 7. I don't think the Oilers are going to go away that easily, but I also feel like the Stars have a lot of confidence right now. And I know the Oilers do too, but I think, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I think there's more confidence probably in Ottinger than maybe like both Edmonton goalies. Not saying that Edmonton's not confident in Stuart Skinner right now. They most certainly are after back-to-back shutouts. But if Skinner's not consistent, then you have to throw in Pickard. And like I'm sure they trust Pickard, but is he going to be able to stop the Dallas offense? Like I think this is going to be like Vegas has good offense, but I think this is going to be the toughest offense that Edmonton has faced so far in these playoffs.
Yeah. My gut's telling me Stars, my heart's telling me Oilers, and I don't really know what to pick here. I want to say Stars. I think the Stars are. I mean, they got home ice advantage. That's huge. It's such a. I feel like it's not do or die though. So I mean, I don't really. It's not like I'm betting money on this, but it certainly feels like it.
It's because this is going to be on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys both got Stars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I want to say Stars in 7. I think the Stars are a better team, but just to be different, I'll go with the Oilers.
Okay.
Because
I
I want to.
want
It's a
Oilers,
coin-
but
it's
we
a
know he
coin
means
flip.
Stars.
It's a coin flip.
I want to root for the team that I pick because I'm gonna root for the Oilers either way. But I want to root for the team that I pick.
All right. Well, let's head over to the East now. We got to get through this in the next 9 minutes because Jake has to leave.
Okay.
But we've got a rematch of the 2023 conference final. Carolina Hurricanes, Florida Panthers. This is the third conference finals that the Hurricanes have been to under Rod Brindamore, and they have 0 wins. So that one starts tonight in Carolina. What does Carolina need to do to, first of all, actually get a win in this series, get a win in the conference finals, and then also
they got to
beat the
start.
defending champs?
They have to win game 1. I mean, they're coming off a lot of rest. Florida's coming off a 7-game series. Take care.
Yeah, Florida had
take
one
care
day
of it.
off.
Yeah. So you have to win game 1, and get that positive energy in the locker room.
Yeah, it's this. They got to be comfortable with winning away games still. I mean, they're good at it already. They got to continue that mentality. They got to be good at playing in not their own home place. So, I don't know. Just keep playing the way they're playing because this team could definitely beat a Panthers team if they just keep playing.
Yeah, and I think, like we talked about Carolina's defense, I think that's going to be really key for them here, especially because like the Panthers' depth is coming through too. It has in their last 2 wins against the Leafs, but also the Leafs just kind of like took a step back, weren't really defending. I mean, their defense was not up to the same par as Carolina. Let's be real here. But we know Matthew Tkachuk is a big game changer for the Panthers, but he did not, how many points did he have in that series? He might have not had any points in that last series. I could be wrong, so please don't quote me on that. I'm checking right now. But he's not been playing very offensively lately. I don't know. He could be dealing with a nagging injury or something. Okay, I was definitely wrong.
Yeah, ever since
at least 3 points in that series. So,
ever since the Four Nations face-off
Yeah,
injury,
4.
he's
4?
been
Okay, thanks, Jake.
he's been shaky. So
He hasn't had a goal. He didn't have a goal in that series. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I think like their offense has been good against the Leafs in their last 2 wins, but that was also a lot of defensive mistakes. And I don't see Carolina making those, especially with a shutdown guy like Jacob Slavin, and then you've got Freddie Anderson, who's just been on a roll lately. And this could be a goalie duel. He could very well shut down the Panthers. Bobrovsky could very well shut down the Hurricanes. So, might be some more boring hockey, but like we said earlier, if that's what works for the Hurricanes, do it.
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Now, for the Panthers, what is their key if they want to get back to the final for the 3rd straight year?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I don't think they have to change much, honestly. Like,
just wear them down.
Wear them down. But I think that's kind of Carolina's play style too. They like to wear down their opponents too. So I think the deeper you get in this series, both teams are going to get just exhausted. But looking at the goalies, I think Sergei Bobrovsky and Project Anderson have been the 2 best goalies in the playoffs so far this postseason. I mean, Anderson's got a 1.36 goals against average. That's first. And Sergei with a 2.31. That's third. Like, I don't think there's going to be much scoring in this series. I think it's going to be the team whoever makes the most of their scoring opportunities is going to win this series because there's not going to be many. It's going to be a very defensive hockey.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I echoed from someone's phone, and that was really delayed. Oh, no.
Hold on, that might be me.
Yeah, you took one AirPod out.
Well, I only had one in, but apparently this one died on me. So.
Oh. See if the recording button like flashes away or something. I don't know.
We got predictions?
Yeah. Do you want to go first this time, Ryan?
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to connect the AirPods. Sorry.
You can hear you.
Yeah, we can still hear you. So if you want to
Oh,
talk
you can hear me?
while you're trying to connect, then.
Okay, so I think we're good now. But I think that the Hurricanes are going to take this one. This team is I think better than the Panthers. I might just get slapped right in the face. You never know when this series starts, but I think home ice advantage is huge in this series, and they're gonna wear each other down. And I think it's gonna go to 7. And having home ice in 7, I think that's going to give the edge to the Hurricanes. So I think the Hurricanes are gonna win in 7.
Right?
I think I'm also taking the Hurricanes. I think Anderson's going to outplay Bobrovsky. I think goaltending will honestly be the biggest factor. Like we said, it's probably not going to be a high-scoring series, and I completely agree with that. Um, I think I'm going to go 6 games. I think that Carolina's going to take all their home games maybe because they're a really good home team. I hear myself echoing, but I'm just going to ignore it right now. And in both their series, they've only had 2 road games, and they're in both series they're 1-1, lost 1, won 1. But I think that one road game that they win will be their series clincher probably. So Carolina in 6.
I'm gonna go Florida in 7.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not gonna bet against them at this point. They beat Toronto, which was a great team in 7 games. They beat Tampa, who a lot of people had them going far in these playoffs. Like they've had a gauntlet. Yeah, they've had a gauntlet to get to this point, and they're just a complete team right now. They have no holes, I see, and I have them winning in 7.
All right. Well, before we let you go, Jay, because you got to go in like 2 minutes, there was some breaking news we had before we started filming. It's not going to make Bruins fans very happy. The Boston Bruins and general manager Don Sweeney have agreed to a 2-year contract extension. So Bruins fans have not really liked Sweeney lately. He's staying for a little bit, so.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys enjoy being at the bottom of the East, then this is a good move. But this is just plain, I don't know. It's like they just couldn't find anybody else. I mean, there's a lot of good options out there, but it's like they're like, well, okay.
All right, Don, here's some money.
Go play solitaire on your office computer, and we'll see you later.
He hasn't done much with the draft or free agency, it seems like. So.
No, so we'll keep an eye on that next couple years. All right, Jake, if you don't have anything else for us, we know you need to get going.
Let's go, fans.
Thanks for being here today, and yeah, episode's not done though yet. Ryan and I have got one more thing to talk about.
One more segment.
Yes.
So I gotta go, but gotta do what you gotta do.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. I'll see you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
See you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye, buddy.
All right, for our final segment, we are once again talking about the PWHL. We both have our Frost gear on today. We did not plan this. We did not plan this. It just happened.
It's a big day.
Yeah, Walter Cup Finals start tonight. The Minnesota Frost are taking on the Ottawa Charge, who were selected by the Montreal Victoires as the opponent in the first round. This is how it works in the PWHL. If you're the best team in the regular season, you get to pick your playoff opponent. Ottawa fans were giving it to the Victoires, saying, "You chose us, you picked us." So many playoff chants have been just brutal this year, like NHL and I guess PWHL.
Yeah, it was getting heated. It was definitely getting heated between the two teams, but they found a way. They used that as, I mean, I don't know if I like that rule because you really use that as a drive. Because, like, especially as a first place team, like, I wouldn't want to pick any team. Because imagine just being that team to be like, oh, you guys obviously are the worst team, so we're picking you.
Well, they didn't even pick the worst team because the Frost were the last team to score.
Oh, I know, yeah.
So,
it's just, that is,
like
just a bad way to start.
This league is pretty evenly matched. Like, it was the other 4 teams, I think, all had a chance to clinch that. No, other 3. I didn't do math there. The last 3 teams who are not in a playoff spot yet on the last day of the season all had a chance to clinch. and Minnesota ended up getting it, absolutely steamrolling the Boston Fleet.
Yeah.
So it's not like any team in this league is terrible. So
No,
who
it was
knows?
all within the last week too. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know.
Who knows? Maybe as the league expands, they will kind of get rid of that rule eventually. I don't know, but we will see where the league goes. But Ryan, if you've got a good little preview for us for the Walter Cup Finals.
I don't even know. I mean, just dealing with that and the Stanley Cup playoffs at the same time is kind of tough, especially with work and everything. So trying to catch everything at the same time, but I it's going to be a tough one because both of these teams are they're just stellar teams. I think that, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Frost fan. It's I think we have more depth, and that is I think we have all four lines that are just a complete, just go driven mood. And I think that's what's going to take us to win this. And it's best out of five, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it continues to be best out of five. Um, it's going to be a tough series. It's could of course could go either way, but I think that the Frost they have from line one to line four, they have the go mentality that I think is just going to take. And Maddie Rooney and net, I think is going to be able to just. I think she's solid. She's overlooked.
Do you think she'll
And
start because they started Nicole Hensley last game and she got the win for them?
true. Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know
I
too
think-
much about that,
I think
but
that's their biggest question is their goaltending, which I said about a lot of series today. But goaltending is key. So,
right.
but I think it's good that they do have kind of, I guess you could say, a tandem there, because as we know from our beloved Pittsburgh Penguins, tandems are very key for winning championships.
Definitely.
I want to say that the Ottawa Chargers goalie was, she was named the first star of the week for the PWHL. That is Gwyneth Phillips. She's a rookie goaltender. She's the first rookie goalie with a postseason shutout in the short history of the league. So her goals against average, I think in her 2 wins, was 0.5. So
Yeah.
that is going to be a big challenge for the Frost, is getting past Gwyneth Phillips.
I will say it's definitely tough, but I think it all comes down to experience, and I think it's going to be a test right away because she's not used to playing against a Frost team. Most of the Frost players are vets when it comes to this, and they've been around this league a lot, and they kind of know the ropes around, what you got to do to win a Walter Cup, and I think that's what's going to give them the edge overall.
Yep. All right. And the other thing we had about the PWHL, I'm a little confused with, though. The expansion draft rules came out. As we said last week, the league is adding a team in Seattle and a team in Vancouver. I know one rule from the top of my head is that each team can protect 3 players, which is really scary because there's like 4, maybe 5 players I want the Frost to protect. I'm like, no, you can't take them. You can't have them.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. And I'm getting like PTSD to when Vegas came to the league. So each of the 6 inaugural teams will relinquish 4 players from their 2024-25 roster throughout the entire process. So that is, the Frost are going to lose some key players. Every team's going to lose some key players. It's terrifying. But
Definitely. I mean, they're the easy ones there. There's definitely people that they're going to keep. Like, I know, I think you got to keep Coin, Heisey, and
you can't let her go. I just got this shirt like 5 days ago,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, Coin, Heisey, and I don't even know, but I mean that's where it comes in. I mean, it's a good thing we're in this now. It's because you know who's going to be able to play well in big games, and you can make a decision off of this series.
That's true. I think that's going to be key for the Charge as well.
Definitely. It's nerve-wracking though.
Yeah. But let's just enjoy the finals. Hopefully none of our favorites get taken and then we have to like switch alliances. because I just got this shirt and it's really nice and it's got Kendall Coyne's name on the back. I had to add that customization, but worth it. So I don't think it upped the cost at all, which was great. But shout out Etsy for a great shirt. All right, but as we said, that gets underway tonight. We've got Eastern Conference Final tonight too, so I will have NHL on my TV and PWHL on my computer. So it'll be a lot of fun. But that is all we have for this week. I forgot to mention it to Jake. I think we'll be back next Tuesday again, just based on how the conference final schedule is going. We'll have, I think, Florida and Carolina will have played Game 4 by then. We'll be able to preview Game 4 for Edmonton and Dallas. But make sure you are following us on our social media, especially on Instagram, to find out when that new episode is coming out. Again, most likely will be next Tuesday. And make sure you're following us too to stay up to date on all of our playoff updates that we continue to roll out. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already, or if you're new here. If you are new here, welcome. We are so glad you are here. And we will see what happens. No, that's a terrible outro. We're excited for the conference finals and the Walter Cup finals. So, yeah, we don't always get things perfect on the show, but that's fine. Yeah, thanks for sticking around through our technical difficulties as well. Even though you don't really have to experience them, you're just going to get a jump cut. So that is all. So
Ready.
thank you. Bye.
Peace.